Yes.
Okay, follow me, please. The first word.
Elapse
Mm-hmm.
means pass.
Okay, to pass, to go by.
Approach.
Mm-hmm. Go by, slip away, pass. Okay, next.
What about approach?
Approach.
Yeah. Or
Uh,
elapse.
approach as a verb means to get closer.
Oh, yeah.
So it has something to do with the passage of time.
Yeah.
Okay, for example, say 2 days elapsed. It means 2 days passed.
Yeah, but when we say that something is approaching it, that it means that you're getting closer and closer to that.
Yeah, it has something to do with proximity. You know, proximity means closeness.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
And the next word is
Mhm.
meticulous. Means
Mhm.
actually very careful and caring about details.
Yes, meticulous means scrupulous and fastidious. Fastidious. Careful. And okay, next.
Domicile.
Mm-hmm.
Domicile.
Yes.
The place that we live.
Yes, home, domicile, abode, and hold on.
Abode.
Yes, it is abode. A-B-O-D-E. Always checking about the pronunciation. Domicile, home, and next.
Excuse me, before reading the next word,
Okay.
you said for meticulous, you said scrupulous and fastidious. Yes,
Fastidious. Fastidious means very difficult. The difficult person who pays special attention to details, and actually, when it comes to decision making, that person is so low and strict. You know, fastidious.
Mhm.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The next word is lax. It means that a person who is not that strict about doing something or
Strict.
choosing something.
Mm-hmm.
Strict and strict.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Omit a, you said strict. It doesn't have a at the very beginning. It's strict.
Yeah. Strict.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, if you just take a look at the photo in association with this word, this is the typical image that you see from Iranian drivers. You know, they just text at the same time of driving, even drink, smoke, listen to music. They do everything, and driving is one of the secondary things that they do. Yeah. Okay. And the next,
Sporadic.
sporadic.
Sporadic
Mm-hmm.
means happening very often, but not regularly.
Mm-hmm. Happening irregularly, intermittently or periodically. Okay. Okay, the context. Words in context. The police find the dog. Okay.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
so that's periodically or that's periodically.
Periodically, I think.
Periodic.
Let me check.
Periodic.
Yes, periodically.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I start? Yeah.
Yes, please.
40 hours had elapsed before the police work and the publicity paid off.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you see here elapsed means passed or went by
Yeah.
before the police work, and the publicity paid off. Paid off means here.
Actually, when I checked the dictionary, it was meaning that when somebody pays, when actually you pay somebody off, it means that
Mhm.
you give him or her the money that you owe him.
No,
But
here it doesn't mean
I'm not.
that. Okay, Fatima, do you know what it means here in this context?
It means disappear.
Does it make sense here? Disappear?
It means being successful.
Yes. Actually, to come to a conclusion, come to a satisfactory conclusion.
Oh,
You
yes,
see?
yes.
Payoff
Yeah.
means to be successful, to have a satisfactory result. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Fatima.
By meticulously checking the registrations of every red station wagon in the neighborhood and then cross-checking
Okay.
bike licenses,
Mm-hmm.
the police narrowed the search to four owners.
Okay. So in the neighborhood, and they're cross-check. When you cross-check something, it means
I don't know, cross-check.
Satan, cross-check means.
When you cross-check something, it means that you check it from another way for assuring that
Mhm.
everything is alright.
Yes, somehow double check. You know.
Double check.
Yeah. But it's not completely synonymous. Cross means, as Hassan said, from another perspective, from another angle. You see? In the neighborhood, and then
Yes.
cross-checking dog licenses, the police narrowed the search to 4 owners. Is it clear so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so they just limited the area of their investigation.
The apologetic Oyers was located and directed to bring her muzzled German Shepherd to the Hart domicile.
Let me see. After a few telephone calls, the apologetic owner was located and directed to bring her muzzled German Shepherd to the Hart domicile. So, do you know the difference between few telephone calls and a few telephone calls?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you say one of them brings about sadness and one of them brings about happiness or something or satisfaction. I think that's the difference. Is that right?
Not exactly, but let's listen to Fatima. Fatima, do you have a better answer?
Excuse me, for what word? I didn't notice it.
Mm-hmm. Few, for example, telephone calls here as we have it, and a few telephone calls.
A few means several telephone calls, but few means to some extent no telephone calls.
To some extent, no telephone calls. You
And
cannot have to some extent no telephone calls. It's
few
impossible.
means almost none telephone calls.
Mm-hmm. Yes, to some extent better.
Yeah.
So, well, as a matter of fact, both of you were somehow right, but not completely. When you say when you use a few, and after that you must use let's say countable word. So if you few shows insufficiency, and you are not satisfied with the number. But a few shows at least it is to some extent, let's say, reasonable.
It is positive.
Yes, it is more positive than few. Few it shows, as I said, inadequacy or insufficiency. You see?
Yeah.
Yes.
The same is true about, let's say, a little and a little. But
Yes.
the difference lies in the matter of countability. It means that actually it cannot be collocated with countable words. You cannot say little orange, little oranges, Portugal.
Yes.
Okay.
You can add the juice.
Orange juice is little, yes, for oranges. Yeah. The apologetic owner was found and directed to bring her muzzled. Muzzled means?
A dog which is equipped with a muzzle.
Yes, its mouth has been shot, let's say, so that it cannot bite others. So that German Shepherd was the dog who bit poor Bobby. Is that right? Which bit, not who.
Yes.
Okay. Next, Bobby identified.
Yeah. Bobby identified the dog, and the animal was taken to a veterinary's clinic to have the necessary tests performed.
Okay. Veterinary clinic to have the necessary tests performed. Identify. Instead of identify, use another verb, please.
Distinguished.
Also, Susan, do you know any other verb? Yes, rare.
What about discriminate? I saw a sentence in somewhere, and discriminate meant distinguish.
Yes, but discriminate actually, when you use it, you must make a comparison between the other things as well. But here we are not talking about, for example, different dogs. The dog was not compared to other dogs.
What about realized?
Recognize is the best.
Recognize.
Yes, recognize. Realize means notice.
Yeah.
Okay, but distinguish is also good. The animal was taken to veterinary clinic. Okay, next. Sasan?
The lax owner, Mrs. Mishkwa, admitted that the dog had a sporadic mean streak. But she scoffed at the idea of rabies.
Okay, so admitted that the dog had a sporadic mean streak. It means
there used to be, or there are some lines on his body or its body. Or a streak means some lines or something like this, I think.
So what does mean here mean?
It's saying that these lines on his on his body, on the body of the dog, means that that dog was dealing with with rabies or some disease like that.
So these are symptomatic of that disease, rabies.
Exactly.
Well, but she scoffed at it means.
It means mock at something, for example. Make fun of something.
Sneer at, yes.
Yeah.
at the idea of rabies. So, next, Jerry.
Jerry Hart noticed for the first time in 2 days that his uneasy feeling had departed.
Okay, so what change appeared in his mood?
He became
He
happy.
became happier.
He became happy
Mm-hmm.
and released
Okay,
from
released.
bad feelings. Yeah.
Get released or released?
Uh, he released actually negativity or negative feelings,
Okay.
or actually he was relieved.
Yeah.
Relieved is better. Okay, so uneasy, nervous feelings departed means left him. Okay, sentences one by one. Number one, Sasan.
Yes. Inadvertently, Emma had allowed 2 months to elapse before paying her rent.
Inadvertently means
Uh, without any possibility, or I forgot
not
to check this
exactly.
one.
Inadvertently, Fatima.
Means without realizing.
Yeah, unintentionally.
Accidentally.
Mhm. Yeah, unintentionally is accidentally, yes. Emma had 2 months to elapse before paying her rent. Mhm. So next,
The lackluster battle was punctuated by a sporadic mortar fire.
it must belong to many years ago. And how can you prove it to us?
Mortar.
Mortar fire. Yes. In Persian, what do we call that? You know?
No, I don't know.
Mortar is a bowl of, let's say, substance that is thrown away to the enemy, and usually it is on fire. So maybe it means manjeliq.
What's Manjali?
Manjeliq was let's say, piece of weaponry that was used in the past to just, as I said, through, let's say, yes, Fatima? Fiery substances to the enemies, such as Fatima. You must have some problems hearing us. Okay, a battle was punctuated. Punctuate means here interrupted. Yes, sporadic. Let me see. Okay, so lackluster means
Dull.
and boring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dull.
Dull, not dole.
Yes.
D-U-double-L. Okay.
Yes.
Punctuated by number 3. Sasan?
A man's domicile is his castle.
Do you believe so?
What does it mean by man? It means everybody.
Yeah, I think it. But take a look at this from a male's point of view.
Uh, uh, maybe yes. If you all actually if you that's one of your ownings and you are actually you are not a you haven't rent that room. I mean,
Uh-huh.
and you don't have any landlord. That's your castle.
Well, it doesn't refer to just actually the concept of a tenant or landlord. It means that maybe actually you're a tenant, you're not a landlord, but your domicile is your castle. It means that actually you are safe, you feel safe and secure in your home, and I think it means that it refers to this concept.
Yeah.
You know, you feel secured and safe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Fatima, can you hear me?
Yeah. I
Okay.
can like
So please read sentence 4
for
because
the Bachman was lax, thievery was rampant at the warehouse.
warehouse or warehouse.
Warehouse.
Mm-hmm. So do you know the meaning of warehouse?
It means a house with a lot of furnitures.
No. Sasan?
That's just a stock, I think.
Yes. Yes, like a store or silo. SILO.
Mm.
A place to hoard, even you can say HOARD, I think, to keep something and to store something. Which one was lax? Thievery or robbery was rampant means?
Abundant.
Abundant, you
Yeah,
mean?
yes, abundant.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Abundant, yes, but in a usually negative interpretation. Usually when something is rampant, that thing is not pleasant. For example, crime, thievery. Okay. And the last sentence?
The meticulous musician had nothing but disdain for his disorganized friends,
Okay, and disdain means?
having no respect for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Disrespect, contempt. Okay. All right. Thank you. And matching phrases. Elapse means to slip by, meticulous, careful. Domicile, home. Lax, careless, negligent. Sporadic means occasional. And the idiom part, Fatima?
To sow one's wild oats. To lead a wild, carefree life. During his teen years, the millionaire avidly sowed his wild oats.
Mm-hmm. During his teen years, the millionaire avidly sowed his wild oats. Avidly means?
Means this strong feeling.
Mm-hmm. Eagerly and zealously. Okay. With alacrity. You know alacrity? It's eagerness.
Yeah.
Okay. Any question from this unit?
No, thank you.
Mhm.
Just
So,
excuse me, just in the place of
Mhm.
punctuate
Mhm.
in sentence.
Interrupted.
Yeah, interrupted.
Yes. Okay, so about the, let me see, hold on.